we're gonna go ahead and strike the operating budget. Scott was supposed to come in and present that, but he's currently sick with influenza, so I don't want him coming in, otherwise he will also get sick. So we're gonna go ahead and strike that, with our new ending time being hopefully around 6:05 to 6:10. Yes, Elsa?
I want to amend the agenda to include medical coverage for the hospital, because that's an emergency. Yep. Because they're going on their trip in 2 weeks, and they need their teachers before they go on their trip.
Alright, these are the changes to the agenda. We're gonna go ahead and add in medical brigades and strike the operating budget. Is there a motion on the floor regarding these amendments?
Move to approve motion or meeting minutes or agenda as amended.
Second.
Alright, all in favor, please raise your hands now. All opposed? Alright, motion carries. Strike that. Alright, up next we have the minutes from the last meeting, with adjustments in by. Wow, no comments. Dean, you're really confident with this one. And again, it's only 6 pages.
Was no.
Alright. Is there a motion regarding the meeting minutes?
Move to approve the meeting minutes from February 25th.
Second.
Alright, are there any objections? Hearing no objections, motion passes with general consent. We're gonna move on to our next item of business, which is a confirmation of. Okay, I'll make some adjustments to that. So I introduce FPL 354-2020. But before we do that, we're gonna go ahead and go around with introductions. Justin, why don't you start us off?
Oh. Hello, I'm Justin Connor, Vice Chair of the Finance Board. I use he, him pronouns, and I am a voting member.
Listen to me. I'm Parth Patel. I'm a first-year ambassador of the SGA for Finance Board. I go by he, him pronouns, and I'm a non-voting member.
Hi, I'm Elsa Mir. I'm a finance board rep, I use she, her pronouns, and I am a voting member.
And Ryan Darren, I'm a voting member of the Finance Board and use he, him pronouns.
Hi, I'm Elise Joy, and I'm a voting member. I use she, her pronouns, and I vote.
I'm Ian Gray, Secretary for Finance Board. I'm a non-voting member and I use him pronouns.
Abdul Wadud, he, him pronouns, candidate for Finance Board. Don't vote. Yes.
My name is Liam Kim. I serve as the chair of the Finance Board. I use she, her pronouns, and I am a digital gang member.
My name is Thomas Sutherland. I use he, him pronouns. I'm representing the Cancer Awareness Society.
I'm Zay Faulkner. I'm the Vice President of Student Organizations, he, him pronouns, and I am a voting member.
Hello, my name is Jocelyn Parker. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a non-voting member and I'm representing the group organization KeyPod for people voting.
I'm Tori Beasley, coordinator for student organization engagement. Forgot my title for a second. I serve as an advisor here. She, her pronouns. I do not vote.
Hi, I'm Nitya Prakash. I'm a Finance Board representative. I use she, her pronouns. I am a voting member. Sorry for my tardiness.
Alright, so do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself? Give a rundown of who you are, why you want to become the board.
Hi everyone. I'm a philosophy major. I intend to graduate either this semester or next semester. So what do you guys want to know? What should I talk about myself? I've been with you guys for like the past semester as the retriever, but I got really busy on the retriever because I didn't like the editors anymore down here. That's on public record now, right?
Yeah, we'll have it in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all on live stream.
Oh wow.
I teach kids a lot, teach pottery after school.
wanna be on the board?
Why I want to be on the board because I think I do a good job on the board, right? I've been here for a while. That's it. I feel like you guys do a really tough job. I can contribute to that. That's simple.
Alright. At all?
Yeah.
Are there any questions for Abdullah at this time? Zane, go ahead.
Do you have any past leadership experiences that you think will be helpful being a member of the finance board?
Yeah, I was the president of Philosophers Anonymous for a few semesters. Philosophers Anonymous was dying, and because of previous administrations just didn't care. So we had as a group, as president, we had to do a lot of recruitment drives. We had to get brochures out. We had to start organizing events and making things like that happen to get people to come on board. So for the first time, we participated in New Student Day. So we had to make a board, and like a lot of kids just didn't know we even had a philosophy program. For example, also the vice president, we're establishing a chapter of Phi Sigma Tau, which is the philosophy fraternity in North America, and that's ongoing right now.
Any other questions? Ryan?
So you mentioned that we do tough work and that you think you'd be able to help us or help to do the work. What specific qualifications do you have to do the tough work, and what makes the work tough, do you think?
Well, I worked with children, for example, for the past 2 or 3 years, and that requires a lot of patience, I've noticed, for example, if you remember that one group, I believe it was Paxa, who was very tumultuous when they came over. That was fun. You guys handled that really well. I think I have the capability to work with people in a professional and correct manner that's required. And I have the experience with a certain type of people, children, to make that happen.
Any other questions for Abdullah? Elsa?
You're a unique candidate because you were with us for the past semester, observing us and what we were doing. How do you think that's going to impact how you serve on the board?
There'll be a less tumultuous learning curve, ideally. I have to admit that actually doing it is different than observing it, but that's I think that's mitigated to a degree of observing. A lot of interviews I did for the Retriever forced me to learn a lot of the mechanisms of student government, how it's supposed to work, how the equipment committee is supposed to work, for example, when I was doing a story on WMBC. So that's the sort of thing I can bring to the table, a sort of up to date or up to speed knowledge of what's going on.
Any other questions? Katie?
I guess kind of piggybacking off of what Elsa said, I guess after like observing finance board for a while, like is there anything that you see that like something like to improve on for any chance, since you kind of had like an outside perspective while observing?
Anything to improve on? No, my first impressions when I first came was I was astonished at the bureaucracy and in the way of the routine and the procedure. That caught me off guard. I've never been exposed to that before. But I don't think there's much to do about it. It's just the way it's been run for the past like 40 years.
Any other questions? Speak now, or hold your peace. All right, seeing no more questions, I'd like to move that we go into executive session for discussion.
Second.
All right, all in favor, please raise your hands now. All opposed? All right, we're going to go into executive session. At this time, the secretary will cease taking minutes. The live stream will be turned off, and all members that aren't ex officio have to ask you to step out just momentarily. No longer the Retriever.
Mexico.
Stay on the run.